Greetings, my friends, and welcome. It is time for the new moon check-in. The new moon is happening in the sign of Aquarius this month on February 9th, 2024. In this video, I'm going to share insights around how the astrological energies shaping up right now are influencing us all collectively. And then I'm also going to give additional insights, messages, guidance, wisdom teachings based on the astrology for each individual sign. And I'm also going to be pulling tarot cards for each sign as well. To begin with, I want to remind us all that we are right now in the midst of having all planets direct. So what does that mean for us collectively? When all planets are direct, the energy of that means that all planets are fully active, awake, enlivened, and the energy really supports us all in gaining a momentum in regard to whatever our creative ambitions are and or our manifestation intentions, not only for this month, but really for the entire year ahead. Between now and about mid-May of this year, all planets are going to be direct. And that really lends itself to forward, expansive momentum that we can harness the power of in whatever way that we choose. What I'm going to talk about today ultimately is going to help you to discern the area of your lives where there's naturally the most room for growth, but this is also more than likely going to be where you're naturally intuitively sensing that you want to channel energy into as well. The other thing I want to remind us of is that this new moon is coinciding with the Lunar New Year, the beginning of the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year. And this is the new year of the wood dragon. The wood element is all about creativity and the urge to achieve, while the dragon energy represents power, strength, wisdom, and good fortune. So all the way around, the energies that we have going on right now, although they are deeply transformative because of all of the things going on with Pluto, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, the energies are really conducive to expansion, growth, liberation, achievement, creative expression, and really it's on collective levels a huge uprising of evolutionary energy that is only beginning now, that will remain with us all collectively for the next 20 years. In fact, this new moon that we have in Aquarius conjunct the sun is the first time that we've had a new moon in Aquarius in the space that is co-present with Pluto in Aquarius. This is the first time that this has happened in like 240 some years. So this really is all of us stepping into fresh, new, energetic territory that's deeply transformative, both collectively and within our personal lives as well. For instance, when I'm looking at the energy of the new moon, one of the primary aspects that are going on with this new moon is that the moon and the sun are squaring Uranus, and then Uranus is making a trine aspect to both Mars and Venus as well. These are some of the main things that are going on, but there's a lot going on around this new moon. But first, let me talk about the Uranus thing, because Uranus is the planet of change, unexpected developments. It shakes things up. So with this new moon, more than likely, we're all in our own unique way, based on however it's showing up in your chart, going to experience some type of unique experience, opportunity that seems to come in from out of nowhere or in unexpected ways, or in ways that just feel sort of out of the ordinary or out of the blue. And because of the trine aspect that Uranus is making with both Mars and Venus, a part of this extraordinary opportunistic energy that happens with Uranus may have to do with the relationship themes in your life. But going back to the square that Uranus is making to the sun and the moon, there could be something that you've been working towards for quite some time that you literally can have a discharge of energy with, a big shift with. This can mean a sense of closure and new beginning happening in some capacity of your life. But definitely expect the unexpected right now. On collective levels, on global levels, with this square to Uranus that the sun and the moon is making, and the trine aspect that Uranus is making with Mars and Venus that are both in Capricorn right now, but they're getting ready to come into Aquarius. So there's a lot of Aquarian energy going on right now. The Mars energy drives action. It's the sign of the warrior. And the Venus energy is beauty, creativity, harmony, love, relationships. And so we have this energy going on between having a deep desire to take action in regard to what we value collectively speaking. And we all know the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we also do have Mercury in Aquarius right now, which is all about communication. So collectively speaking, we can definitely expect there to be the continuation of peace rallies around the world, the continuation of people rising up and standing strong in what we value collectively in the realm of peace on earth, harmony, living in unity consciousness, high vibration. These are the themes that we're going to be seeing playing out. And then bringing it back to the personal level, I want to remind us all that the new moon each month is the best time to set new intentions, not only on the day of the new moon, but the first few days of the new moon, even like 2 to 3 days of the new moon energy, where we're beginning to see a little bit of light of the moon, is actually a better time to set new moon intentions rather than the actual pure dark of the moment that the moon comes into the new moon phase. Giving it a day to have, so you can see that little crescent in the sky, and setting your intentions along those lines. And then the other thing I want to remind us of is that there's always cycles within cycles that are always happening, astrologically speaking, that affect us here on this earth. So with each lunar cycle, there's the monthly evolution of what those intentions are, but then there's like a 6-month life of that intention that coincides with the opposition of when the full moon in that sign happens 6 months later. For example, we've got the new moon happening in Aquarius on February 9th. On August 19th, we will have the full moon in Aquarius. And this happens each month. There's always going to be a 6-month-long opposition of when the full moon happens in the same sign that the new moon happened. So keep that in mind when you're setting your intentions. What I like to do is, on the bigger scale of what my bigger picture intentions are, or creative goals or manifestation goals, is I ask myself, how am I feeling guided to channel my creative energy? And what do I realistically feel like I can achieve within that 6-month period? And so I would encourage all of you to consider that especially as I'm going through each individual sign in a little bit here and giving additional insights and messages. So right now we have the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Pluto all in Aquarius. Mars goes into Aquarius on February 12th and Venus goes into Aquarius on February 16th. So we have this condensed focus around the Aquarian energies. Let's remember that Pluto transitioning into Aquarius. The Pluto themes are deeply connected to transformation, regeneration, rebirth, and renewal. Really, Pluto is about the transformative part, but it leads to rebirth and renewal. So there's a huge focus on transformation happening right now. The sun and the moon in Aquarius right now illuminate both our conscious ego awareness and our intuitive awareness around where we're seeking transformation, where we're ready for transformation. Mercury in Aquarius, which we just had an exact conjunction to Pluto 2 days ago, and we're still within the space of that, brings about awarenesses, ideas, opportunities to express or communicate around whatever personal transformation we're holding space for. And then with Mars and Venus right now being in Capricorn for the exact new moon, that gives us an ambition to really be willing to put the energy in to whatever we need to do in order to facilitate or hold space for the transformation that we know we are being guided towards. But once Mars and Venus go into Aquarius, joining Pluto and Mercury and the sun for the duration of Aquarius season, that is, again, really bringing in relationship themes. This can also be relationship within yourself, coming into a renewed balance between your own inner sacred feminine, your own inner sacred masculine. It has the tendency to give us an ambition to channel our energy in the direction of what we need in order to feel more dropped in to our own internal harmony. During these next few days, both Venus and Mars are making a sextile aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is all about our inner spiritual nature, our spiritual life, our connection with our soul, our feeling of connection to spirit. So the sextile aspect happening between Mars and Venus and Neptune further informs the quality of action that we want to take. And the way I'm interpreting that is that we're all becoming more aware of what we value regarding our spiritual path, our soul calling. And we're efforting towards establishing our harmonious alignment with that. And we feel really grounded and ready to take action along those lines. We are ultimately in the height of Aquarian season right now. We have all of these celestial bodies going into the sign of Aquarius, and ultimately the predominant element that we have going on for the rest of Aquarian season is air. The air element is inspiration, illumination, awareness. It can be emotionally detached. We also have a prominence of the fixed energy as far as the modes go. And so this can support us in having follow through, wherewithal, but we have to be cautionary against being too set in our ways. It's a good idea to be aware of where you might be digging your heels into your life too much and where you might actually benefit from having a little bit of open-mindedness or flexibility. On February 13th, Mars will make a conjunction to Pluto, and on February 17th, Venus conjuncts Pluto. It could be a little bit of a shake-up energy, but I feel that ultimately the results are going to be fulfilling, rewarding, and positive. The shake-up more than likely is going to be along the lines of dislodging yourself from any area of your life that feels stressful, straining, toxic, in order to create space for new harmony coming in. And with that, let's go ahead and start looking into the cards for each individual sign. Okay, let me just set my tea down here, and I'm going to give the cards a few shuffles. So we're going to start with Aries. And the messages that I'm sharing here are going to be for your rising sign, your sun sign, or your moon sign. But because I'm incorporating the astrology on that level, let's see what one just flipped out here, the Temperance card. So with the astrological aspect, the information I'm going to give is going to be most accurate for your rising sign. So as I was shuffling the cards here, the Temperance card flipped out for Aries. Okay, the Temperance card is about holding space, being patient. And if you have a strong Aries influence in your chart, you know that being patient is not your forte. Aries wants everything done yesterday, right? And so Aries is having soul growth opportunities that are connected to holding space, being patient, trusting the universe that things are shaping up to support what your manifestation goals are. So for Aries, chances are you've already been putting energy out there, putting energy out there, putting energy out there. So you don't need to keep putting energy out there. You need to just hold space so that the boomerang of the energy you've already put out can come back. So if you are Aries rising like me, all of this Pluto energy is happening in your 11th house of friends, social groups, causes, the collective, future, technology. So ask yourself, how have you been feeling guided to be out there in the world a little bit more this year? Okay, so we're coming into Taurus next. If you are a Taurus rising, then all of this Aquarian energy with all of these celestial bodies in Aquarius is happening in your 10th house of long-term goals, career, standing in the community. Now, I'm going to remind us all that the Pluto being in Aquarius is going to be for 20 years. Pluto in your 10th house of long-term goal and career, this is a time where you're really going to be cultivating, developing, honing your professional skills and your professional path for the next 20 years. Let me pull a card and see what wants to come up. Okay, this is really fitting, especially because Taurus is the entrepreneur of the zodiac, and the Seven of Pentacles is coming up for Taurus. The Seven of Pentacles, first and foremost, reminds us to pause and remember how far we have come. Realize what you have accomplished, what you have achieved through channeling your energy in consistent ways, and know that you are in a time in your life right now, especially regarding your long-term goals or career, if you're Taurus rising, that you're in a time of sort of reconsidering, where do you want to be channeling your energy from this point forward? So that's where the transformation is happening for you. There's something different or new that you want to develop within your profession. And it could be just a new facet of a profession that you're already in. It doesn't necessarily mean changing jobs or changing careers, but pay attention to what facets of your long-term goals you're feeling guided to develop, and know that you have that support. And the Seven of Pentacles is further substantiating that. This is the energy of expanding, developing, growing, achieving manifestation goals, achieving financial growth goals, all based on self-guided, self-chosen shift of focus. The sevens in the tarot represent self-actualized change. It's not change that you're not in control over. It's change that you are purposely, consciously choosing. Okay, so let's go to Gemini. Gemini sun, moon, or rising. If you are a Gemini rising, then all this Aquarian energy is happening in your 9th house of higher education, adventure, travel, seeking to experience or learn from other cultures, foreign cultures. It's also your spirituality. So if you're a Gemini rising, these are the areas that you're naturally going to feel compelled and driven to have transformation in. And so let's see what the card is that comes up for you, Gemini. It's the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, first let me say that the suit of Wands is creative energy. And the Knight of Wands is an action, activity-oriented, taking steps forward on a path type of energy. So for Gemini, you more than likely are going to be called to expanding beyond your usual sphere of life that you live in and have enrichment through creative diversity. Okay, and we're coming into Cancer. If you are a Cancer rising, then all of this Aquarian energy is happening in your 8th house of transformation. The 8th house represents deep soul transformation. It also is connected to money that comes from other people. It's reaching into the shadow part of you. So transformation can be in embracing your shadow side. The Chariot card is what's coming up for you. The Chariot card is the energy of courageously moving forward in the direction of what your dreams are, your goals, your ambitions, even if you don't know what the outcome is. This is the energy of forward movement. It's the energy of being driven. And if you're Cancer rising and the Aquarian energy, since that's the dominant thing right now, is in your 8th house, more than likely your drive is about deep connection with yourself, deep connection with people, deep connection with your unintegrated parts of yourself on a more 3D level. This can mean that you're driving yourself forward in the direction of financial dealings with other people or income that comes through other people. Okay? And let's go ahead and get into Leo. If you're a Leo rising, then all the Aquarian energy is happening in your 7th house of long-term relationship. And the energy that's coming up for you, the card, is the Empress card reversed. The Empress card in and of itself, it's healing energy, it's nurturing energy, it's self-care, it's self-love. Your key to transformation within relationships is about being in the we and us dynamic of sharing rather than I. Leo sometimes can be more self-oriented. But because if you are a Leo rising, this is happening in your 7th house of relationship, and with Mars and Venus also going into Aquarius, you're going to have big time relationship themes coming up this month. And in order to move through transformation smoothly, be willing to be in collaborative, the spirit of collaboration, the spirit of partnership, joining forces, we rather than me. Okay, and we're coming into Virgo now. If you're a Virgo rising, the Aquarian energy is happening in your 6th house of being of service, work routines, health routines, which actually is the natural placement of Virgo. So this is like a really dialed in energy for you. So again, for Virgo rising people, you're naturally going to be feeling compelled to have transformation in these themes of your life, how you're being of service, how you are engaging in your work routines. This could be restoring order to work routines, health routines, and things like that. And the card that came up for you is the 3 of Swords reversed. The 3 of Swords, in and of itself, ultimately is the energy of healing through forgiveness. And because you, Virgo, if you are a Virgo rising, this is in your 6th house, which does include health routines, your holistic well-being right now is going to be connected to letting something go in the realm of forgiveness, even if it's self-forgiveness. This can also mean that you're more prone to mental, emotional, physical imbalances that can happen through holding on to grudges. So for you, Virgo, this is like your own journey of healing now. Bringing yourself into balance, letting go of grudges, letting go of anything that is bringing disruption mentally, especially because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in your 6th house if you're a Virgo rising. Have some honest self-evaluation about where you don't feel in harmony, and do what you can do for your self-care, self-healing, letting go of anything that's been a mental disruption so that you can come into your harmony. Okay, Libra is next. So if you are a Libra rising, the Aquarian energy is happening in your 5th house of creative self-expression, love affairs, children. So these are the themes that are coming up for you now. And the Knight of Swords reversed is coming up. This is what the card looks like, right side up. And in the reverse position, the message is to be really deliberate around your choices and your actions, and resisting the urge to be impulsive. You do want to allow spontaneity, but curb anything that feels hasty or impulsive. Hasty energy is more fear-based or lack-based. Impulsive energy is just not thinking of the bigger picture results of your actions. Spontaneity is, hey, I wasn't expecting this, but it feels good, and I'm choosing consciously to go for it. If you have children, perhaps this is enjoying creative endeavors with your children. These are the themes that are being highlighted, and the message for you is to invite playful spontaneity and curb hasty or impulsive action. Okay, Scorpio is next. If you are a Scorpio rising, the Aquarian energy is happening in your 4th house of private life, home, ancestral roots, things like that. and it's the Seven of Cups that's coming up for you. And the Seven of Cups brings in fresh imaginings that lead to opportunity for renewal, healing, and emotional well-being within the scope of these themes that I've talked about. Okay, so Sagittarius. If you're a Sag rising, then the Aquarian energy that's happening right now is happening in your third house of communication. And the card that's coming up for you is the Eight of Wands, but it's coming up reversed. The Eight of Wands is an energy of new momentum. It's growth and expansion. But reversed, the momentum, the growth, and the expansion is happening internally within you. So being that this Aquarian energy is happening in your third house, if you're a Sagittarius rising, then this is a really good month for self-reflection, meditative awareness. Also, the inner self-reflection ultimately can be contemplating changes of direction on your life path, because this card does also have to do with travel, expansion, forward movement. Okay, Capricorn. If you are a Capricorn rising, the Aquarian energy is happening in your second house of value, self-worth, and how you make money. And the energy that's coming up is the Two of Cups, which says there can be partnerships. Partnerships forming that support your income earning endeavors, partnerships forming that are aligned with what your core values are, things of that nature. Okay? If you are an Aquarius rising, then the Aquarian energy is happening in your first house of self-identity, self-expression, who you are. And it's the Tower card. This makes sense to me, okay? Because all of that Aquarian, all these planets, sun, moon that we've got going on in Aquarius in your first house of self-identity, especially with Pluto being about transformation, don't be surprised if you feel that this is a time where your whole sense of self-identity is shifting. But more than likely, with the transformative rebirth renewal themes connected to Pluto, it's going to be more like you getting back to who you are, embracing, embodying, empowering aspects of you that have been dormant, like parts of you that are you, but maybe have been dormant or not active. Releasing what is not you so you can be more of who you truly are. And then last but not least, Pisces. If you're Pisces rising, then this Aquarian energy is happening in your 12th house of unconscious mind, spiritual connection, karma, and it's the Three of Cups. So if we talk about this in the 12th house, meaning unconscious, what are my unconscious needs, desires? What Pisces is craving right now is connection. Connection to soul tribe, star tribe, community, connecting with like-minded souls that you can enjoy the camaraderie of inter-supporting each other, being muses for one another, inspirations for one another. So for Pisces, the areas that you're experiencing growth-oriented transformation this month, but again, these themes are going to be threaded throughout the next 20 years, especially with Pluto. If you're Pisces rising and it's in your 12th house, there's a lot of unconscious metamorphosis going on that uncannily is exactly what you've been seeking and wanting and needing, especially in the realm of connecting with community, conscious community. I want to remind you all that there's still time to get your 2024 Life Path reading with me, which is a comprehensive, in-depth reading that includes a psychic reading with me, plus looking at your 2024 astrology and the tarot as well. I offer this at the beginning of each year, but it's also a good gift to give to yourself or a loved one for your birthday, whenever your birthday is, because our birthdays are like our personal new year. I also want to remind you that if you're going to be in Sedona at any time this year, get a hold of me ahead of time and arrange to have an in-person session with me at my healing center in Sedona. And then some of you know that I also offer customized personal retreats that are deeply immersive, transformative, with all of the different types of transformation sessions that I offer. Take a look at my website at holisticpsychic.com to get full list of all of the sessions that I offer. I invite you to reach out to book a session. Even if you're not going to be in Sedona this year, almost all of the sessions that I offer can be done through video chat as well. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. All my love, blessings, namaste. I'm going to see you for sure for the full moon update. And in the meantime, I'm going to be uploading some videos that are just supporting personal growth and transformation in general that are not necessarily tied to the astrology, but just empowerment tools that we can have to support our journeys. So, all right, I will see you in the next video. Blessings.